is that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what you think about and real events. Your subconscious mind cannot draw a line between what you're dreaming about and reality. Your body goes to complete the mental pictures. If that was not true, tell me please, why was it written? Whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things are noble, whatever things are praiseworthy, whatever things are excellent, if anything is of good report, think about such things. If such a word could find its way into the Holy Scriptures, then I submit to you your power to control your thoughts, your power to control your mind. If you ever have a nightmare at night, I suggest to you, wake up literally, physically. For the ladies, go to the washroom. For the men, go drink some water in the sitting room. I think men we identify, what do you call that thing? The dispenser. And the ladies identify with the mirror in the washroom. And then begin to build castles in the air about your business reaching South Africa. I would rather you begin to build castles in the air than go through a night of diabolical attacks. And when you begin to build castles in the air, it is written that he can do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ever ask, think, or imagine. I ask you a question tonight. Suppose you have a nightmare and God begins to do exceedingly abundantly above that nightmare. And he multiplies your nightmare. What will become of you? Shift what you dream about. And begin to dream what you want to become a reality. Every great thing you see in life begins as a dream. Shift the words you use from I can't afford to how will I afford. Shift from saying I may to I will. I may is sitting on the fence. I will is committing. Shift from saying I can't and ask yourself, how can I? Shift from seeing failure as failure and see it as feedback. When we invested in the beauty industry and decided to test some of the tools we teach here, like building a business system, our very third branch at Valley Arcade, someone decided to destroy our billboards twice. What they had estimated is our resilience. We didn't react. We responded immediately. Redid the billboard and took flyers every single home, 7-kilometer radius. Someone's ship is going to sink this year, but that's not my ship. Competition doesn't determine what I can or cannot do. I do. Do not allow industry wars to determine what you can do or cannot do. If all the variables must be controlled for you to succeed, you will never make a move. If all the obstacles are to be overcome for you to be successful, you will never become successful. Do not empower people to determine what you can or cannot do. The biggest difference I have with some of you here tonight, you have not failed enough. Twice since One Life Club failed to kick, I went back to the drawing table. Every successful person has failed enough times, and that's the difference many of you are having with the people you admire. You haven't failed enough. You see, after studying 25,000 failures, Napoleon Hill concluded that the number one reason they failed is inaction. Start seeing failure as feedback. That's how you shift your thinking. Begin to believe you're self-employed. Each one of you here tonight, there is none of you who is employed by someone. You are self-employed. You never work for EcoBank. You never work for Barclays Bank. You never work for Safaricom. You never work for Coca-Cola. You work for yourself. Someone else might give you the pay slip or the paycheck, but you never work for them. You work for yourself. Your current employer might not compensate you for how much you deserve, But if you continue doing more than you're paid to do, eventually you'll earn more than you deserve. You see, I often hear people saying, I'm underpaid. Underpaid by who? Nobody pays you. You pay yourself. If you're underpaid, how much do you think they should pay you? They pay you what they think is the value you are adding. If you think you're underpaid, resign. Nobody pays you. You pay yourself. Nobody has any business paying you. They pay the value they think you are adding to that enterprise. It is when you reach that mind view, you begin to shift your attitude towards work. And you begin to add value on yourself. I can't tell you how many singers have met me in the streets telling me to support them. Please support me. Why should I support you? Did I tell you to sing? What's wrong with you? Motivational speakers who bring me books and tell me, please support me. Did I tell you to write a book? I never write for attention. I write with the intention. I've never told any of you or anywhere. I've sold over tens of thousands of books. We are printing afresh this year. I've never told anyone to buy to support me. Why? The secret is simple. You buy value. You don't buy to support me. That idea of sympathetic sales is not sustainable. You've got to realize people buy value. It is President Nelson Mandela who said, if I speak to a man in his own language, it goes to his head. If I speak to a language he understands, it goes to his head, but in his own language, it goes to his heart. The real question is this: are you speaking to my heart? People are emotional buyers. Do I have a reason to put my money into it? How many here received a WhatsApp or Facebook advert saying, please come to KICC, support Kenyanjui? Who received that? You came because you believe his value he adding to you. Is that so? So why do you want to sell clothes or rice to relatives, coercing them to sympathize with you? Do you realize it's not sustainable? Please don't come to me after this meeting to sympathize with an album you produced. Tell me how I'm going to enjoy the songs. That's what I want to buy. Until we go through this mind shift, we will be operating in a very small cocoon. If you've got to take your product or your service to Kampala, where you're not known, to Nigeria, to India, then it's about value. Begin expecting to succeed in 2017. The primary reason why people fear picking bank loans is fear of failure. That's why the bank is the only place where the poor and the rich meet. The poor take their money to the bank and they advise the bankers, fix it. I have no idea for the next 3 years. Fix it. Let's open a fixed account. And then the rich picks the money and they put into ideas. The rich with ideas. The poor with ideas take money to the bank. The rich with ideas remove money from the bank. Are you poor? Are you a rich girl? You've got to expect to win. When you expect to win, you get the money from the bank. Think big. 2017, don't plan to start a kiosk at the corner of the street. Think like KFC. Think like McDonald's. Think how your enterprise can sell the world over. You see, the primary challenge we are having are our paradigms. Because you live with people who, one, don't like what they do, and they fear losing what they do. Because that's the only thing that pays their bill. So you end up living within certain established parameters. You are a product of establishments. In 2017, can we destroy the establishments? Can we raise up our worldview? Can we shift from where we are? We are expecting different things to happen to us. I want to suggest tonight, nothing new will happen in 2017 unless something new happens inside of you. We can't expect change out there unless there is change in here, change within us. We expect the markets to shift in our favor rather than us shifting the markets. Rather than us becoming the trade setters, the pace faders. So I suggest To combat 2017, very first step, we need to undergo a mind shift and expect to win. Think big. See failure as feedback. And believe you are the best position to win in 2017. Principle number 2. Develop a personal vision. Develop a personal vision. A vision reveals your purpose. Your personal vision reveals your purpose. Therefore, purpose precedes vision. Vision precedes mission. While vision is the ideal situation, the end picture, the end product of how you see yourself and you see your life turning. Mission is the how, the means towards that picture, the means towards the end in your mind. So before I mention about personal vision, allow me just for a moment to mention something about purpose, because vision reveals purpose. No one has ever done anything meaningful that never found out their why, their purpose. Great men, wherever they may be, whatever career they are doing, they never work. They just do what they love. When you find something significant, not something marginal, when you find your place, when you find your value, you pursue it with all you are. Your first assignment this year is to discover your why. Your first assignment after this meeting is to discover your purpose. You see, we leave college with a lot of guesswork. We run helter-skelter without knowing what we're doing. We take many years to find our true north. And some of us go to employers after college and tell the employer, I can do anything. Is there any vacancy for anything? Imagine, anything. How many are guilty of telling an employer I can do anything? Oh, thank you for being honest. Why? Because we are anything. Wired for anything. And I suggest from today, you will not go anywhere as an anything person. There's nothing more liberating in this life like finding your place. I found my place. I welcome you to that club. It is the beginning of fulfillment. And that's the line between vision and ambition. Because you can make money and never be fulfilled. Maybe that's why Al Nightingale said that success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. You see, on the epitaph of your graveyard, they will never list down the properties you owned. People will only be concerned in your eulogy with the difference you made. And this is where the vision comes from, because a vision is God's dream for your life. And I want to suggest tonight some 6 reasons why you need a personal vision. 6 reasons why you need a personal vision. Number 1, personal vision directs your purpose. Your personal vision directs your purpose. It guides your purpose in life. That means it's possible to discover your why. That means it's possible to discover your purpose, but never reveal yourself, because you never structured your purpose. There are people who know absolutely what they were supposed to do, but they never do it. That's why you are told the first thing to do with a vision is to write it down. Habakkuk 2:2. To clarify that vision. And the Lord God called Abraham and told him to look up. What do you see? The man said, I see a lot of stars. And God told him, your children will be as many as the stars you see. Your greatness will be as the stars you see. You see, you can go to the ocean with a water spoon or a water bucket, but none of them can drain the sea waters. The limiting factor is the vessel you carry. The limiting factor is your capacity. So God tells him, in other words, your greatness will be as much as you can see. And then he makes him stand on the mountain of God, Mount Horeb, and tells him to look at the horizontal dimension. How far can you see? And since God said that your land will reach as far as the Euphrates and the Tigris, modern day Iraq, I don't believe a 90-year man in Israel was able to physically see that far. I don't even think from the city of Nairobi you can see Naivasha with your naked eye. I think he was talking about the inner eye vision. How far can you see? That's your limiting factor. Vision is the extent to which you implement your purpose. So vision structures your purpose. Why have a personal vision? Number 2, vision is the source of all human motivation. Vision is the source of all human motivation. You see, your vision will be tested for authenticity during terrain moments, not during the good times. It will be tried and tested. I suggest tonight, if you get into prison, go in there and get out with your vision. When there is faith in the future, there is power in the present. Your greatest pull should be that of a vision, that of the future, not of the past that drags you behind, not of the present gravity that keeps you grounded where you are. Your greatest pull should be that of tomorrow. And that which makes you overcome the daily challenges and obstacles is your vision. It takes you through the hard moments, but you keep the sight on that vision, like mountaineers. See, the landscape keeps changing from a warm, nice weather, huge forests, thickets, bamboo, suddenly no more trees, rocky ground. Suddenly the pressure gets very high, the temperature so low, the oxygen so low. But the beauty of the matter is that with every increase on every new vantage point, there are beautiful sceneries to behold, because the climber fixes his eye on the summit. Vision will keep you when the going gets tough. Number 3, why a personal vision? A vision attracts resources. That means if you don't see resources coming along your way, clarify your vision. If you don't see people buying your product or your service, maybe you have not clarified your vision. Go back to the drawing table. People don't give people money. People invest in a vision. If resources are not coming along your way, recheck your vision. Stop pursuing money. Let success pursue you. Number 4, like a magnet, a vision keeps us focused. A vision teaches us to say no to the good so that we say yes to the best. A vision helps us to distinguish between what we need to do and what we have to do, what we must do. So that in 2017, we are no longer jumping at urgent issues, but at important issues. We spread ourselves too thin too often than not. But a vision helps you to avoid distractions and detours, keeps you on track, helps you to say no. You see, wisdom is not just knowing what to do, but knowing what not to do. Wisdom is not just knowing who to meet, but knowing who not to meet. There are places I cannot go because of my vision. There are people I cannot meet because of my vision. There are movies I cannot watch because of my vision. I don't want to waste time with that which is not moving my vision forward. You are either helping me, or I'm helping you, or we are helping each other, or stay out of my way. That's what a vision does for you. It removes redundancies, unnecessary weights. Number 5, a vision dictates your choices. A vision dictates your choices. Your priorities. Perhaps you had planned to buy a new Range Rover this year, but you say no to that Range Rover because of something that your vision requires, so that you invest in the vision first. The choice of your language, the choice of the people around you, your level of association is dictated by your vision. The books you read, the newspaper, what do you read? Can you become selective in 2017 when you're reading the newspaper? Do you realize it was not written for you to read everything? There are some people, they pick the newspaper on the very first page where they check his obituaries to check who is dead. What's wrong with you? If someone close to you is dead, you will know. Don't fill your brain every morning with the dead. Dead stuff in your mind. Let's keep it in 2016. What do you listen before you sleep? Who do you give a phone call? The first thing in the morning and the last moment before you go to bed. You see, the books I read, anything I touch, whether it's on social media, and I can tell you the integrity must bear me witness. If I check the things I have to do every month, it must be absolutely towards the cause of Sense 101 Life Club. I don't have enough time to research for the next topic and start reading books on Rhoda Magere. My time can only allow me to pick that which is pushing my vision forward. Number 6, your vision seals your legacy. Your vision seals your legacy. You see, you'll never be remembered for the seeds you planted, or for the harvest you reaped, but for the seeds you planted in the lives of others. I read a quote, if you want to touch the past, touch a rock. If you want to touch the present, touch a flower. If you want to touch the future, touch a life. Your vision ultimately seals your legacy, the purpose for which you lived. To what extent do you want to reveal your vision? What will you be remembered for? What difference will you have made? Because you are not called upon to do everything, but to make a difference. Your vision was supposed to make a difference. What difference will you have made? So develop a personal vision. Let me digress for a moment and say this. I'm running 2 independent programs. One of them called The 7C Woman, and the other one called Purpose Driven Men. The objective for these programs is to identify people, to help people identify their purpose in life. And when you attend those meetings, we did the first one last year with some ladies. When you attend these meetings, we'll help you in vision casting, in defining your mission, in setting goals. My original intent was to take all of you to the Great River Nile for a cruise. And some of you could not afford. So the Nile cruise is still there, 10th to 16th of April. I listened, I heard you, and I said we can make a crash program, homemade. And we had a number of ladies who attended. Are they in our midst? Can I see the ladies who attended? Anyone in our midst? Please, let me just see by a show of hand. I can see 2 hands there, another hand there. Anyone here? Up there? Anyone here who attended? 2 hands there. The reason I told them to lift up their hands, yes, thank you. Please identify those hands and ask them the experience about 7C Woman. I invited them to come 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We left there 10 p.m. and we didn't finish the business. So they decided on their own to invite me on 11th of January to continue with that business. Believe me, it is better for you to invest the 20,000 because it's more expensive to run through a vicious cycle. The beginning of change is discovering your purpose. Step number 3. Devise a specific course of action. Devise a specific course of action. I'm discussing about principles of command in 2017, and the very first one I told you, undergo a mind shift. Number 2, develop a personal vision. Are you with me? And number 3, devise a specific course of action. There's no way you can achieve what you desire to achieve with your vision unless you write it down. Because vision without action is chaos. But action without vision is fantasy. It has been said that of a fact, if you do not measure success, probably you're rewarding failure. That which gets measured, they say, gets done. So tonight, I want to suggest some revolutionary thoughts about goal setting. I know for a fact, goal setting has been a subject of analysis for very many years. I want to suggest some revolutionary thoughts about setting goals. There are 3 levels I want to propose to you for setting goals. Level number 1, I call it the familiar level. The familiar level. At this level, you set goals based on what you know you can do. Goals are set based on past tested experience, proven experience. It is the lot of most people. Over 80% of men and women in this planet set goals at the familiar level. Even right now, as I talk with you, those of you at the beginning of the year, maybe on fast or maybe 31st December, as you sat with yourself or with your family, and you decided the goals you're going to do in 2016, the odds are high. 80% of you wrote what you're sure you're able to do in 2016 because you have done it before. And let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, it is even pointless to set such goals. It is better you didn't set them in the first place. You see, for a baby to walk, let me call the baby tonight Samela. She's crawling. The only way for this baby to go to the next step of walking, she has to fall a couple of times. And the odds are high the mother will be panicking and perhaps stopping the baby from attempting to crawl. But there is only one way for Samela to walk. She's got to try it many times, hurt herself many times, until her mother Rachel watches from a distance. Then and only then will Samela be able to walk. That is the principle of life. Failure is part of winning. Failure is part of learning. No one did anything worthwhile that he understood when he began the journey. Anything that was ever done on this planet, when they began, they did not know it. Does that make sense? If you've got to address all the obstacles, you'll never do what you've never done before. What you're doing is what every other kid in the block is doing. You're playing it safe because of fear of failure. And the primary reason why people never succeed has nothing to do with their number of degrees. It has nothing to do with their background, but believing the results will be all right. They are bold enough. They have faith that everything will turn all right. The second level of setting goals, I call it tonight, conventional level. Conventional level. This is setting goals based on what you think you can do. On what is generally accepted, the way of